Good afternoon, this is Rae-Michelle Comodero, and you are listening to Radyo Kapwa on CKUT 90.3 FM. Where all Filipinos are Filipino enough.
Bonjour, bon après-midi, good afternoon, magandang hapon. You are listening to Radio Kapwa on CKUT 90.3 FM. Fran Stoner here, joined by Desiree Ruiz and Laura Kaluya, our wonderful sound engineer. We are so excited today to be talking to some wonderful talent. As folks know, May is Asian Heritage Month and June is Filipino Heritage Month. So we are joined today by the amazing writer and director Lily Chang, and also performer by the name of Rae-Michelle Comodero. And we're going to talk about Leila Roils The Seas today, and we're really, really excited about that. So welcome, Rae-Michelle. Welcome, Lily. Please take the time to introduce yourselves. We're really happy to have you.
Hi, thank you for having us. So I'm Lily, calling in from Jojage, also known as Montreal. I'm a writer, editor, and filmmaker based in Jojage, and I was born in Taiwan and moved to Canada at a young age with my family. I'm a graduate of Concordia's MA program in creative writing, and I'm the writer, director, and producer of Leila Roils The Seas, which will be premiering at La Chapelle in June 11th to 18th as part of the Montreal Fringe Festival.
Hey, I'm Rae-Michelle Comodero. I am an actor. I'm 22 years old, and I'm also currently an acting student at Concordia University, and I'll be playing the lead as Leila in Leila Roils The Seas. And I'm born and raised in Montreal, also Jojage.
Woohoo! We have a whole bunch of Concordia alum here, so we're all really, really proud. Desiree is as well.
Yes, welcome. This is Desiree. So happy to have both of you here. So please tell us and our listeners, what is Leila Roils The Sea about?
So Leila Roils The Seas is about the loss, at its core, it's about the loss of one's beloved, but also very frustrating and infuriating grandmother. And broader, in a broader sense, it's about the special bond and generational social cultural clash between a Taiwanese-Canadian woman and her Taiwanese grandmother. And so plot-wise, I don't know if we want to get into that, but when Leila finds out that her grandmother has fallen into a coma, she returns to Taiwan, only to discover that she alone can see and interact with her grandmother's spirit outside of her comatose body. And her grandmother wants Leila to help her move on to the celestial realm of Pure Land Buddhism, but Leila doesn't want her to move on, and she also doesn't believe in the afterlife. So, and she's also quite angry with her grandmother's history of violence that she's sort of learning about and confronting throughout the play, because it's bringing out her own trauma and experiences of violence. So in a nutshell, that's kind of what the show is about.
Wow. So it sounds like a lot of talk of intergenerational experiences, dialogue, trauma, but also like wanting to break intergenerational curses. So it's actually quite perfect that you are all here, because that's kind of what our show is about.
Oh, great.
Right? We really identify as the progressive Filipino media outlet, and really want to talk about kind of the complexity of diaspora experience. And that's kind of what you're touching on, right? How did you get attracted to this project, Rae-Michelle?
How did I get attracted to this project? I honestly think that being able to be a part of this project was purely fate. I was scrolling through Facebook, and I never use Facebook because I'm Gen Z, but Gen Z don't use Facebook anymore. But I was just randomly scrolling through Facebook, and I felt like this was in January, and I feel like I want to do more projects, more acting projects other than outside of school. So I was going through Facebook, and I just typed out Montreal castings, and I randomly found this casting online. And like, it's so rare, especially as like an Asian actor, to see like a casting call where we're specifically looking for Asians, because it's usually like open to BIPOC or open to colored people. Yeah. So, seeing this casting call, I thought like this is this is like perfect. But it says it was East Asian actors, and I'm Southeast Asian. I'm Filipino. So I remember messaging Lily like for the first time, like, hey, can I audition even though I'm not Chinese or Taiwanese? And she said I could. And we did the audition. It was a total of 2 hours. The audition was literally 2 hours. It did not feel like 2 hours. It went by really quick. But it was really, really, I remember reading the script for the first time at the audition, and I knew that I really wanted to be a part of it because I've never read something like this, something that I could relate to. And I know that maybe a lot of people might think, or people listening who are Filipino might think they won't be able to relate to it because, it's about a Taiwanese or a Chinese. Oh my gosh, I did not say Taiwanese.
No problem.
No, cut that out. No,
That's good for mixed race children. Yeah. My son's Salvadorian and Filipino, and he calls himself Salvipino. So, whatever works.
So a lot of people, maybe the people who are listening to this who are Filipino or even not Filipino, maybe of a different nationality or of a different cultural identity, might think they won't be able to relate to it because they're not Chinese or Taiwanese, but there's so many elements that are very relatable to it, and I feel like this is a story that's gonna hit home for a lot of people.
I love that. I mean, Lily, when you were explaining the plot, I mean, that as friends had mentioned, this is the basis and the root of Centre Kapwa and Radio Kapwa, and the programming that we create. And I mean, such a beautiful journey, like this topic of intergenerational trauma, or just in intergenerational life, if anything. And also, like, what resonated also with me is like this anger, because it's like a lot of it we don't necessarily want. It's beautiful to see it, it's beautiful to pass, to break generational cycles, but oftentimes we don't want some of it, right? And we're not ready to deal with some of it. So thank you for bringing that up in this piece. I'm just curious, like, where did this come from? Where did this inspiration come from?
So it was hard to write because it is a very personal story. All the events and people are based on real people. It's set in Jingshan, which is where my grandmother lives. And so the inspiration behind this play was really my grandmother, and she's still alive. She just her resilience, and also my desire I wanted to record her stories. She's had a crazy life. During the Japanese occupation of Taiwan, she was sold as a child laborer by her family to another family. So she worked since she was 7, as washing dishes, cleaning houses, feeding pigs, and that's all in the play as well. So it's about her life, her really hard life, and sort of that history of violence where this is what she learned. And then later she has kids, and the way she has to survive. And so it's about that. But it's also about how, as her granddaughter, how we have this special bond, but we also clash because of values that I might have today. And so so that was kind of the inspiration. And another one is that as a kid, because I'm so close to her, I've always had this fear of losing her. So the fear of losing her, I used to imagine her death, and I would play it, and there was a performance aspect, like the funeral and grieving and fantasizing about it, obsessing about it. So that's in the play as well. It's about her dying, and the character not wanting that to happen and struggling with that. So that's kind of where it came from.
Has she seen it, or is she going to see it for the first time on the opening on June 11th?
No, so she'll still be in Taiwan, but we'll record parts of it and we'll show her. And what's also very special is that my sister is playing my grandmother, our grandmother. So yeah, it's very meaningful, and it's crazy sometimes just seeing my sister play her, and yeah, it's been quite an amazing experience.
But such a full circle moment I mean, I like just hearing, thank you for sharing your grandmother's story. You know what I mean? Like, from being sold to now her granddaughter sharing her story to the public, like, and being able to spread her story and just this message. So wow, that's so beautiful.
It is so beautiful. It sounds like a journey of healing for all of you in that way. Uh, is there anything we can expect out of the show?
There's definitely some really fun parts too. I know that it's like heavy subjects, but
Yeah.
I was interested in approaching these issues through actually serial comedy. So there's like how can we laugh and approach these subjects with laughter and levity without minimizing their gravity. So there's Chinese opera, there's Tai Chi, karaoke, there's even like a chicken dance.
That's
That's
awesome.
beautiful. I love that. I'd love to know, I know you're an all Asian cast, and I think that's like, but also like, uh, in front and behind the scenes, it's pretty much all Asian. What have been some kind of reactions to this? I think that part of the diaspora experience is that sometimes we don't see ourselves reflected at different levels, whether it's in a small team or forward facing work like you're doing as well. So, what have been some reactions to like, wow, this is all Asian?
Um, Personally for me, like I've been acting for about like maybe 5 years now. It hasn't been that long, but like this is my first time doing an all Asian show, or even just acting around Asians, really, because this is a very there's not a lot of from my experience, not a lot of like cultural diversity or ethnic diversity in this industry. So it's such an honor to be a part of something that's not just full of like I'm not just surrounded by Asians, but also it's a story that I feel like it's a story that I really believe in, and it's a story that I can relate to, and I feel like it's also very necessary. Um, from our other co-stars as well, they kind of said the same thing of feeling so honored to be a part of something where it just feels so culturally relevant. Talking to my other friends as well, they're like, I can't wait to see this. And also because they're not Asian, they're like, they want to see something that they've never seen before, which is also great because for us, in our perspective, this is something that happens every day. This is something that's normal to us, all these things that we see in the show. But in another person's perspective who isn't Asian, this is completely new to them. And it opens like my eyes to how much we've had little representation, and to be able to be put on a platform and to express things or to show things from our culture and from our perspective is so powerful, and I'm really excited. Yeah.
That's beautiful. It's really like for us by us, right? And the power of it being for us by us. Lily, any reactions to this super Asian project?
Yeah, I guess because it came from such a personal space, I wasn't or place I wasn't thinking until I started casting. And actually, it was Rae-Michelle. One of her questions to my casting, one of her answers to my casting questions was, I asked her what she was looking for in this production or what she was looking forward to, and she said just the opportunity to act with an all Asian cast and like just feeling like like everyone looks like you and everyone knows has the same similar experiences. They just get it, and that to me was really powerful. And it kind of pulled me back, and I realized, oh yeah, like this is very very meaningful, and it's been great, like for me thinking that I'm sharing a play, but it's also about opportunities and creating community. And yeah, that's just been really really eye-opening.
I have a last question.
Mhm.
Did you get any feedback or comments from the crew or from the actors as to like the seeds that were planted based on the story? Because yes, like so powerful, like to be amongst Asian, but then also like such this story is so powerful, right? Um, and I'm just curious to know if anyone was like, oh my God, like I've rebuilt relationships with my mother and my grandparents, like I'm just curious to know if you've heard any feedback like that.
Definitely, yeah. One of our cast members is Terry Leung, which he's a filmmaker, and His initial comments to me of response to my play was amazing. He shared his own experiences, and we had a bonding moment about his own family and very private stuff. So definitely already just from being in this project, even early on, I received a lot of answers for the casting call from the Asian community, and just being excited that there's this Asian-led project. So even from that, I could see that there's a need, and people are hungry for it. And another thing, also, another of our cast members, Alice Wu, she also shared stuff about her family. And I think it is hard because the subjects are very heavy. So I feel like, I hope in sort of being involved, and we've had a lot of discussions. I hope from being involved, we can reflect on our dynamics with our family and our history and our patterns of behavior and ideas. And I think that is very healing. Although I think that also one theme of the play is also that healing it's not finite and it's not clear cut. So it's not a linear thing. So it's not like, oh, we're healed and everything's great. So it is very complex. And yeah, we've been reflecting on that.
Yeah, I think actually this is a really beautiful segue to kind of something we ask all our guests. Thank you for bringing that piece about healing. Like, we do this work because it's healing. We do this work because we've been starved for representation, and we grew up not having it or having poor representation of who we are in our culture. So something that we always ask everyone. So Rae-Michelle, in what ways have you been told that you weren't Filipino enough? And yeah, and for you, Lily, in what ways have you been told that you weren't Asian or Taiwanese enough, right? Because that's the complexity of our diaspora experience. We're never kind of Filipino enough when we go to the Philippines or certain groups. And then in spaces in Canada, it's like, even if we were born here or grew up here or whatever it is, it's always like, no, where are you really from, right? This kind of struggle of being this perpetual foreigner. So, yeah, in what ways have you been told that you are not enough?
This is such a big question for me. Obviously, like growing up, I think we could all relate to this. It's just, the microaggressions we've all received in our lives, like where, like what you said, France, like where are you really from, or no, really, what are you, like things like that. Like, you're from here, but you're not really from here, and those are things that we just grow up with and made me question a lot about being Canadian because I'm born and raised here, but physically people see something else. But I eventually like kind of grew stronger from it. But then now as an actor, I kind of get these sort of doubts once again of like, am I ever going to get any roles? Am I going to get work? Am I just going to be known as the token Asian actor or do stereotypical roles? And there's also a thing about casting BIPOC actors. And I've had this talk with Laura before, how like, do you think, did I get this role because I'm talented, or did I get this role because they wanted a colored person? Like, I'm just a box to be checked off. And I think also about this production, I'm like, I'm playing a Taiwanese-Canadian woman, but I'm actually Filipino. I'm like, I get these doubts, like, do I deserve this role and things like that. So there's a lot of how do you say this, imposter syndrome going on. But it's an ongoing battle, and I tend to remind myself that I'm doing what I love, and if I get this role, I feel like I shouldn't dwell so much on the reason to why I got it or make up these stuff as to why I got it, and more of just, I'm going to do my job, I'm going to do what I love, and what people say, I'm like, that's on them, not on me. So, yeah.
Thank you for that, because the reality is, I think a lot of us feel that, but we never really have the courage to speak it out. I think one stereotypical thing about Asian cultures is we're told to just kind of push it down and like work hard and like just pull yourself by your bootstraps and kind of just keep going. So thank you for speaking the real truth about it's so important, representation matters, but then representation matters, that means we have to take up space, and that's really scary. That could be really scary to be so exposed, right? How about you, Lily? Who told you you weren't Asian enough? Who told you you weren't Taiwanese enough?
I think it's a very complex question. I think myself and everyone around me when I was younger, when I first immigrated, I had this notion like, oh, I have to assimilate and as a form of survival, adapt to the new culture. So I felt that I had to suppress or reject my Asianness. So it was important for me not to have an accent, you know, to dress and act and look the way the non-Asian kids did. But in doing so, I remember the Asian kids would call me banana, which, you know, yellow on the outside, white on the inside. So yeah, it's that liminal space that you were talking about where you don't belong on either side. Yeah, so that definitely happened. And then I felt like I lost parts of my culture and language that I think later on there's been a lot of unlearning and unpacking that, as I'm sure we've all experienced. And this itself is a very common experience, I feel, for immigrants. So yeah, there's a lot of relearning and exploring.
Relearning, exploring, and also unlearning, right? All these things that we've been taught. So I guess just as a last question, again, this is something we ask everyone. Our show is called Radio Kapwa, and for those who don't know, Kapwa is the inner sense of connectedness we have towards each other as human being, kind of this notion of like there is no you without me and there's no me without you, right? So walking mindfully through the world, doing no harm, right? So in a way, it's also about this sense of community. So would just love to hear from both of you. What does kind of Kapwa connectedness community mean to you as you're doing this work?
I feel it's a huge support system for me. And it helped me be able to pursue my dreams and pursue what I'm doing. The Filipino community has always been so helpful towards me, especially this generation, like my generation or the generation after me or and before me, uh, such as like Filipinos in Montreal or Salingui organization, which is the dance troupe I was a part of growing up, which is a Filipino folk dance group, and a lot of these people really helped me in discovering who I am and being comfortable in my own skin, especially since we come from like families or past generations who are always so competitive or always trying to put us against one another, like, you know, when you're getting compared to your cousins in the Philippines that you've never met before, or being compared to your tita or your tito's kid, you know. So having these people who go beyond that mindset and try to heal from those and looking after one another, it really means a lot to me. And without the Filipino community and the community around me, I wouldn't be able to be as strong or as brave to um embark on this very tough and very scary industry.
That's so
Right, right.
beautiful. Oh, did you want to say something, Lily?
Yeah, I think community means to me sort of people gathering together and with a willingness to share with each other and listen to stories and experiences and validating one another. Just, you know, like really seeing each other and holding space. That to me is a big part of community. And I think reflecting and fighting for each other. And also asking one another what kind of support they would like. Because I think sometimes support could be, oh, let me help you my way. But I think it is important to ask what kind of support would you like. Sometimes it's just to sit with them and soak in the grief or loss that they're experiencing or some kind of pain. So I think that to me is essentially the the building the seeds needed for community.
That's so
Mhm.
powerful. It's really like giving folks back their agency, their dignity, making sure there's consent, all these things that we just take for granted but are so powerful and healing. Oh my goodness, we say this to every guest. I feel like we could talk to you all for hours. We could talk to you all day. But thank you to everyone who's been listening. This is Radio Kapwa, CKUT 90.3 FM. We've had the pleasure to talk about Leila Roils The Seas with writer and director Lily Chang and wonderful Pinay Power performer Rae-Michelle Comodero. You can catch the show at La Chapelle. Tickets are available on montrealfringe.ca. There's going to be shows starting June 11th, so 11th, 12th, 15th, 16th, 17th, and we'll definitely be letting you know. Oh, and 18th as well. Sorry, just saw that in my notes. But we'll definitely be letting you know on our show and on our social media pages what's been going on, because we're a big supporter of Leila Roils The Seas. Thank you so much, everyone. Mabuhay. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Our show, Leila Roils The Seas, will be at the event Fringe for All on May 29th at Club Soda. Here you'll see a teaser of our play, a 2-minute teaser. It's going to be lots of fun. Please come. And on June 8th, please come meet us and talk to us at the Fringe Park celebrations. It's at the corner of Rochelle and Saint Laurent at Parc des Amériques. Yeah, come talk to us, have a beer, and happy Asian Heritage Month.
Alala mo ba nung malungkot ka at sabi mo gusto mong tumigil ang mundo mo? At sa sobrang galit mo sa sarili mo inihagis mo ang mga gamit mo sa lupa. Huwag kang mag-alala, magpasalamat ka. Okay lang magpahinga. Hindi ito ang ating kapalaran. Iyong mga problema ay mawawala. Ikaw ay isang pagpapala. San sinukob, salamat. Sana mahanap mo ang kaligayahan. Tumingin ka lang sa paligid mo. Sa paligid mo. Tumingin ka lang. Kahit saan, tandaan mo. Huwag ka mag-alala, magpasalamat ka. Okay lang magpahinga. Hindi ito ang ating kapalaran. Iyong mga problema ay mawawala. Ikaw ay isang pagpapala. San sinuko, salamat. Nandito lang ako para sa iyo. Ngayon hanggang dulo. Sabay tayong lumaban, tayong dalawa. Maniwala ka, may pag-asa. Ikaw ang aking liwanag. San sinuko, salamat. Huwag ka mag-alala, magpasalamat ka. Okay lang magpahinga. Hindi ito ang ating kapalaran. Iyong mga problema ay mawawala. Ikaw ay isang pagpapala. San sinukob, salamat.
The first song of the episode is called San Sinukob Salamat by Sarah Geronimo, and we'll get right into it with the news from the Philippines with John Marvin Reyes.
Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rae Reyes. I am a youth leader and a community organizer here bringing you important news back home in the Philippines. The article is from Rappler with the title, 3 Drag Race Philippine Queens Win at 2023 WOWY Awards. Drag Race Philippines Season 1 finalists Marina Summers, Eva Luquin, and winner Precious Paula Nicole secured wins from 3 different categories of the 2023 WOWY Awards held on May 13th. Season 1 runner-up Marina Summers bagged the WOW Liberty on the Rise Awards, which is also known as the Can't Get Out of My Head Award. These awards recognize the drag queen's rising fame attributed to the memorable performances and entertainment. Marina also shared on Twitter that she won right after her 7-minute performance of Beyonce's Love on Top. Fellow Season 1 finalist Eva Luquin took home the award for Best Beauty Guru. Also known as the Pinit Award, these merit honors queens, makeup enthusiasts, and beauty content creators with unrivaled makeup skills. The Best Beauty Guru also expressed her gratitude to family and fans on Twitter, sharing that it blew her mind to have come this far. She also celebrated the fact that Filipino drag is loved and raved, even on international stage. Season 1 Drag Race Philippines winner Precious Paula Nicole was also announced as Breakout Star. She shares this award with queens Admira, Thunder Pussy, Johnny Beard, Drag Queen Giselle Lullaby, La Diamond, Ma Rogers, Paloma, Spunky Jackson, and Stephanie Sue, who hail from different Drag Race franchises. Paulo Ballesteros, host of the popular Philippine drag show, was also nominated under the category Best Viral Moment, along with contestant Prince for the Shoes moment from the first episodes of the show. The WOWY Award is an annual event that closes out RuPaul's Drag Con, a convention that began in 2015 for enthusiasts of the hit reality show RuPaul's Drag Race. It is organized by World of Wonder, or WOW, the production company behind the Drag Race franchise. Winners were voted on through WOW's website, where they were allowed to cast their votes once a day. Season 1 of Drag Race Philippines premiered in August 2022 and saw viral success with only 10 episodes. WOW announced a second season on October 19, 2022, and it opened its casting at the end of the same month. The article was written by Chelsea Lingad and published on May 18, 2023. Thank you so much for listening. Maraming salamat sa pakikinig. Once again, this is Rae Reyes, delivering you Philippine news from abroad.
Bakit lagi kang ganyan sa akin? Kasama kita, ngunit siya ang nasa iyong isipan. Hindi ko alam kung anong ginawa ko, bakit? Anong kasalanan ko? Ba't ka nagbago? Alam mo naman kung gaano ako nahirapan sa'yo. Bakit ganyan? Paano ng damdamin ko? Nagsisisi ako, hindi ko na lang sana sineryoso. Papaano na to? Paano ko mapipigilan ang pusong ito? Binabalewala, bahala na. Sa aking ngunit ay ang kahapon natin, na tila bang isang himig na bulasong inig. Hanggang ngayon hindi ko alam kung bakit. Anong ginawa ko? Ba't ka nagbago? Alam mo naman kung gaano ako nahirapan sa'yo. Bakit ganyan?
That last song, if you've been listening to us for a long time, you might recognize the band. It is Maldita and it's their song Bahala Na. The last song I played of theirs on the radio, it was a song in Chavacano, which is a very beautiful language. Up next, we have Gusto With Ya by Denai, followed by Kick It by Christian Leon featuring Raven Agustin.
Yeah, yeah. Way better. I know I'm independent, but I think I need ya. Kayang mag-isa pero mas gusto with ya. Parang mapabaliw and I don't get to see ya. Sana'y nang di umasa, but ang gusto with ya. I'm independent, but I think I need ya. Kayang mag-isa pero mas gusto with ya. Parang mapabaliw and I don't get to see ya. Sana'y nang di umasa, but ang gusto is ya, is ya. Oh, di maintindihan. It's hard to learn your language, baby. Uli na mo naman. Turn it from 240 to 1080. Pagdadalawang isip ko ay nag-180. Yeah. Gusto ka lang makasama kahit na abot umaga. Di mawawala ng gana. Ikaw lang ang nakikita. My definition of vision. No, I ain't into submission, but that can still be a mission. Forgetting all of my cautions, but I think I need ya. Kayang mag-isa pero mas gusto with ya. Parang mapabaliw and I don't get to see ya. Sana'y nang di umasa, but ang gusto is ya. I'm independent, but I think I need ya. Kayang mag-isa pero mas gusto with ya. Parang mapabaliw and I don't get to see ya. Sana'y nang di umasa, but ang gusto is ya. Baby, go speak your mind. There's so much things to find. I wanna know just what you like or not. Sana'y nang mag-isa, pero masasaya kung lagi kang magkakasama. I know I'm independent, but I think I need ya. Kayang mag-isa pero mas gusto with ya. Parang mapabaliw and I don't get to see.
Listen, girl, I wanna tell you that I just wanna kick it with you and just chill. It's just that I got these homies of mine, and they just wanna kick it with me and just chill. I got a homie named Jealousy. Let me tell you what he sees. I go with those small preferences, but my bestie flexing on me. I know he's no Pharisee, but this is just no Pharisee. Took you to the Pharisee. Look shallow, but it cut deep. We should be just you and me. Dang, that boy got income deep. Ain't no inconsistency. I know you both would die for me. Both of you are down for two. I just don't like him and you. It could be like JRA. We connect like we got Bluetooth. Girl, I wanna tell you that I just wanna kick it with you and just chill. It's just that I got these homies of mine, and they just wanna kick it with me and just chill.
Come in here, through the ears of my friend, his name is Fear. It appears that the bomb might disappear. Eyes a pair, but it's as if it were clear. I am scared, so I choose to just stay here. Is this something on your mind? Nah man, I'm just really tapped, and I want these feelings gone. In my sights I turn to a mess, you can tell, but I still want you to come through and chill like Miguel.
I wanna tell you that I just wanna kick it with you and just chill. It's just that I got these homies of mine, and they just wanna kick it with me and just chill. Maybe this won't make sense, but when I'm in your presence, it feels like I'm on incense, smelling oils in my head, asking if I even want you. Can I even have you? Would you be glad to kick it with me? Would you even be happy? Cause I'm down for you. Are you down for me? Feel my energy, cause you know I've been feeling for you.
I can taste the taste of the beat, feelings diffusing, confusing. My lucid peace, cannot consider it losing, turning profusing to a loser or loser. I cannot do this, man, this does not feel like the movies. This ain't even heartbreak, disappointment's the name. And I aim it at myself, but also at you, bang. If you're not down, there's homies down to hang. Succumb to the peer pressure, stay in my lane.
Nananahimik ako dito, nagkakape na kada 4. Ilang linggo na nasa kwarto, pinto'y nakasarado at sait na ang luha ko. Di mo ba nakikita, tapos na ang kabanata. Pagbukas ng bintana, nakadungaw mga tala. Lungkot tayo lumisan na akong usapang seryosong kailangan mo. Pasensya na di ko maibibigay. Huwag magmakaawa, wala kang mapapala. Wala na akong balak magbalik at lumuha. Imposible, sa pelikula lang yan nangyayari. Ang simple, ganun lang kasimple. Hindi mabubura ang nangyari. Parang ayoko na ata, ayoko na nga. Ayoko na ata, ayoko na nga. Ayoko na ata, ayoko na nga sa'yo. Imposible ang hiniling mo. Tatlong oras akong sa kanto, naghihintay na parang aso. Ilang beses na nangyari yun, wala na bang bago? Nasasayang lang ang oras ko. At nalaman ko, dulas ang barkada mo. May pinupuntahan ka raw sa may baklaran. Huwag magmakaawa, wala kang mapapala. Wala na akong balak magbalik at lumuha. Imposible, sa pelikula lang yan nangyayari. Ang simple, ganun lang kasimple. Hindi
were just listening to Imposible by KZ Tandingan featuring Shanty Dope. For the last song of the episode, we have Sa Panaginip na Lang by Alamat, and I'll be right back with your community announcements for this week.
Sa panaginip na lang kita liligawan, dahil doon ay kontrolado ko ang mangyayari. Lahat ng gustuhin, lahat ng hilingin, aking ibibigay, lahat ay kakayanin. Pipilitin ang sarili, hindi na magising, dahil ayoko na masira ang mundo kung saan kasama ka. Dahil sa panaginip ko tayo'y masayang magkasama. Tanggap mo ko kahit di ako perpekto. Sa panaginip lahat ng bituin ay sangayon sa atin, kaya sana'y di na magising. Sa panaginip na lang, sa panaginip na lang. Sa aking panaginip, di ka maiinip. Lahat ng nagpapasaya sa'yo ay ating gagawin. Kung gusto mong lumipad, bibigyan ka ng papa. Walang hahadlang sa atin dahil tayo ang batas. Pipilitin ang sarili, di na magising, dahil ayoko na masira ang mundo kung saan kasama ka. Dahil sa panaginip ko tayo masayang magkasama. Tanggap mo ko kahit di ako perpekto. Sa panaginip lahat ng bituin ay sangayon sa atin, kaya't sana'y di na magising. Kung sa pagmulat ng mata, ikaw ay makikita, may kayakap ng iba. Sa panaginip na lang, kung saan tayo'y masaya. Sa panaginip ko tayo'y masayang magkasama. Tanggap mo ko kahit di ako perpekto. Sa panaginip lahat ng bituin ay sangayon sa atin, kaya't sana'y di na magising. Sa panaginip na lang, sa panaginip na lang, sa panaginip na lang, sa panaginip na lang, sa panaginip na lang.
Hello and welcome back. This is Laura from Hiraya Productions, Centre Kapwa, and Radyo Kapwa, and here are your community announcements for this week. Tickets are currently available to purchase for the play we just talked about, Leila Roils The Seas. Showtimes are 11th of June at 8:30 p.m., 12th of June at 9:15 p.m., 15th of June at 10 p.m., 16th of June at 3:45 p.m., 17th of June at 7:45 p.m., 18th of June at 12:15 p.m. as well. The show runs for 60 minutes and it's held at La Chapelle on 3700 Saint-Dominique Street. Get your tickets at montrealfringe.ca. Up next, Filipino Heritage Month is fast approaching here in Jojage, Canada. The Filipino Organization of Concordia University Students, FOCUS, is hosting Siopao, the festival. It's a 2-day event which requires registration. Please visit their Instagram page at Focus Concordia to sign up. Up next, Jolis de la Peña, a self-taught interdisciplinary artist, is performing their piece, She Cut Her Own Belly Open, an intimate connection to memories, identity, and diaspora as recurring themes. Catch their performance on June 1st and 2nd at 7 p.m. To get your tickets, visit the Instagram page at OFTAMTL. Up next, Que du Love and Chalet Kent have been offering a visual experience featuring the youth of Côte des Neiges that will inspire you to choose more love. Love is the answer to many of the issues facing youth today. By cultivating strong relationships based on love and respect, young people can resist the urge to use violence to solve their problems. The exposition is from 1 to 5 p.m. at Maison de la Culture, Côte des Neiges, 5290 Chemin de la Côte des Neiges. For more information, visit their Instagram at Que du Love and at Chalet Kent. Next, and as usual, we are back with the weekly legal clinic resources offered by Head and Hands. Today, May 24th, volunteer lawyers are offering a 30-minute appointment regarding immigration and family. The next day, another legal clinic will be available, but this time focused on civil and employment. Please do fill out the intake form to book an appointment at head_and_hands on their Instagram. Tomorrow, May 25th, we, Centre Kapwa, are offering a Reclaim Your Wealth workshop facilitated by Kapwa Kat Daka and sponsored by CCLGBTQ+. The workshop will be held at Centre Communautaire LGBTQ+, at 2075 Rue Plessis, Suite 110, from 6 to 8 p.m. Also happening on this same evening is Burlesque and Variety Show featuring our Kapwa Joyrider and Cosmic Skater as guests at Cafe Cleopatra. Help them perform in Las Vegas by purchasing tickets for their performance, which you can find on their respective Instagram pages at Joyrider MTL and at Cosmic Skater. Up next on Saturday, May 27th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., we are hosting our Kapwa Walk and taking space exploring the neighborhood of Chinatown. We are so thrilled to have Andre Ho, a progressive leader in the Chinese community and member of CCLGBTQ+, guiding this month. This month's Kapwa Walk will also be a walk led by a visual artist and photographer at Maudit Bata. We will be meeting up at Métro Place d'Armes, corner Vigier and Saint-Urbain. Right after the Kapwa Walk, we will be marching in solidarity to protest against racial profiling to honor George Floyd, starting from 1 p.m., and the meetup place will be at 1500 Rue Barry. The very next day, May 28th, Grow Still, Row Still created the Care to Share discussion circles as a way to encourage the community to discuss difficult issues that impact society. Our purpose is twofold. First, we want to work together to alleviate the pain and isolation that often accompany topics such as inequality, illness, and conflict. Second, we want to facilitate self-education, equip participants to engage in discussion with peers and family members, and to inspire action for change. It will be from 3 to 6 p.m. at Park Willowbroad. Please visit their Instagram at grow_still. Up next, Collective 4891 is also hosting an afternoon of art and community. Hosted at Cafe and Creative Space Aux Angles Ronds, we invite you to try your hand at crochet, collage, and pin making, led by a few of our lovely collective members, all materials provided. It will take place on May 28th from 12 to 4 p.m. at 5333 Saint Laurent Boulevard or Aux Angles Ronds. Visit their Instagram at Collective4891. And last but not least, on Monday, May 29th from 3 to 8 p.m., Positive Sex Ed celebrates International Day of Action for Women's Health. This little project is organizing a conference on people's journeys and experiences through sexual health care. For more information, visit their Instagram at Positive Sex Ed. For more information, please visit their Instagram at positive.sexed. Thank you once again for tuning in to another episode of Radyo Kapwa. We hope you have a great rest of your day. Mabuhay.
Good afternoon. This is Lily Chang from Leila Roils The Seas, and you're listening to Radyo Kapwa on CKUT 90.3 FM. Where all Asians are Asian enough.